Hello, Samson here. Yeah, so in today's book review, I was reading another interesting book by Darius Forax. So the book is titled "Do It Today." I don't know why I found myself in such a state. Yeah, but it has to do with procrastination and how you can actually deal with procrastination itself. So the book has got three parts in divisions. So the first part is simply bringing to life, shifting from a passive state to an active state, where Darius is talking about overcoming procrastination, and that is where I'm going to base my review on. I'm just going to talk about procrastination because it is something I've seen affecting our productivity as human beings at the end of the day and in most circumstances. The second part of the book has ideas collected on what you can do in order to boost your productivity. So the second part is simply dealing with you improving your productivity, and then the last part of the book is dealing with the power of compounding, and that is for you to be able to achieve more when it comes to whatever field of expertise you might be in and whatever area of life you might be in. So diving right into the book itself, quoting what Abraham Lincoln said, is you cannot put off tomorrow by evading it today. So you do not put off tomorrow by evading it today. And just to bring another thought to life, there is an interesting quote that I came across reading the book about around right from the start of the book, where the author says, we trade time for money, but don't spend the rest of your life doing that. So we trade time for money, but don't spend the rest of your life doing that, because there is just more to life than trading time for money. All right, so part one of the book, we are talking about overcoming procrastination. So there are quite a couple of things that Darius brings about in the book that he does in order to overcome procrastination. So these are the things I'm going to point at. Number one is to improve your focus. So in order to improve your focus, there are like two things. That is, to eliminate is the first one, and the second thing is you think about your past success. So when it comes to eliminating, we're talking about eliminating things that bring distractions to your productivity, things that distract you from being a productive person. And then when you talk about looking at your past success, we're simply referring to the fact that there is a hormone called serotonin, and when serotonin levels in your body are high, there is a very high rate of focus in you. So there is need for the secretion of serotonin, and by the secretion of serotonin can actually be stimulated by you looking at some of your past successes, which are going to help you focus on what you want to do and the results that you want to achieve. So now, how do you beat procrastination? So we can look at the cost of procrastination itself, like some of the effects that it has and all that. So there is what we call depression, there is anxiety that it brings in, there is irrational beliefs that are built around stress, and then there is low self-esteem and all these other things. But how then do we tend to beat procrastination? We need to understand firstly that willpower is not going to help us in beating procrastination at the end of the day, but a strong sense of why is what is going to help in beating procrastination. So why do you do the things that you do, or why do you put off the things that you put off? So we are moving on next, talking about stopping to waste time in order to improve your personal effectiveness. So effectivity or effectiveness is defined as you getting the right things done, doing the right things that are supposed to get done over a specified period of time. So you get things which are supposed to be done. And for you to be able to do this, you need to know where your time goes. one of the ways of knowing where your time goes is looking journaling, basically. So when you get to write down what you're doing at what point, planning and whatnot, and getting stuff done, you can easily be able to track where your time is going, and then also identify non-productive works that you do not need to do. Then you can also eliminate time wasters from your schedule and from the things that you do. There are certain habits of unproductive people that you do not need to copy. There are like 8 of them which he brings out. So the first one being working too much. Working too much doesn't mean you're as productive as you're supposed to be. You can put in 8 hours of work and someone can put in 2 hours of work. What determines the effectiveness of what you've both done is basically the value that you've brought, and not working long hours. And then the second thing is worrying too much. There is just a lot of worry that is there that people actually put in. So it's a habit that you're not supposed to build. And then being stubborn, checking things constantly. Our smartphones, I think, constantly checking notifications and whatever is happening, and then escaping life itself. Then we're also talking about neglecting personal education. So we're talking about listening to seminars, we're talking about reading books and all that. And then saying yes to everything, because we feel like saying no is something that is wrong and is going to hurt the other person. Another bad habit is not writing things down. Your brain isn't a storage site. I think that is why there is a lot of memory cards, there are a lot of computers which have around 1 terabyte of space where you can store stuff from. So your brain is simply a production factory where your thoughts are coming from, and those thoughts are supposed to be jotted down, put in a document, written down maybe in a journal or something like that, and then they are stored so that your brain is constantly being used. So the habit of not writing stuff down is a bad one, because the faintest ink is always going to beat the sharpest mind, the sharpest brain. All right, and the 2 last habits are being hard on yourself and hitting rules. There is like a 30-minute ritual that he takes, I think, every day in order to start up his days and to end his days. So he says from between 0 and 10 minutes, what he does is basically evaluates what happens during the day, that is before going to sleep, and then in the next 10 to 20 minutes he reviews what he's going to do tomorrow. That is like planning and looking forward to what he's going to do tomorrow. Between 20 and 25 minutes, what he does is he prepares his outfit for tomorrow, so that he doesn't use brain power tomorrow to prepare. And then the 25 to 30 minutes, what he does is visualizes how tomorrow is going to be. So there is a lot of stuff, I think, that is in the book which I am not going to literally manage to exhaust right now to talk about, but then maybe pointing out to the last thing, the 2 last things that I can talk about, that is the ancient habit that can help you to maximize your focus, and that is the power of developing mantras, of having mantras. So a mantra is basically some Sanskrit saying that you might have, which you confess, and then it helps you to move on with your life by the day and what's not. And then how to focus better and manage your time well. So the thing is, there is need to be where the bareness of a busy life. So we're busy being busy, but not being productive. So we need to be aware of that. So the only thing you can control is your attention, because you cannot control your time. So the attention that you have and that you give to certain things is the only thing that you can control. So for more insights on doing it today, overcoming procrastination, increasing productivity, and achieving more, I recommend that you read the book itself. So till we meet in the next segment, I am checking out.